Thank you and God bless you. Let all of us be guided. I think I'm going to end there.
Amazing.
Because this matter is very deep.
I know it is very deep.
Welcome to Voices with Victoria, the series that unlocks the power of resilience. Join me and industry experts as we explore career development, human capacity, nation building, and entrepreneurship.
Hello everybody, it's another exciting episode of Voices with Victoria, and I have here with me in the studio my very good friend, Odogu, aka Odogu's wife, aka I can keep going on, and I'm so excited to have a friend here joining me on this episode. She is a marketing manager, the one and only Miracle Ezechi. Hi, Miracle.
Hi.
How do you feel being on set with me today?
I mean, it feels weird to have you in this setting.
Please, let's focus on why here for Voices with Victoria. I know that it's my friend.
It feels weird, but it's exciting at the same
Yes,
time.
amazing. I'm also looking forward to our conversation today.
Yeah.
So today, this episode is basically on the Voices, the voice of resilience, and I followed you for a long time, even, as an inner circle member, my friend, and I know how very resilient you are.
Okay.
I mean, professionally, the career space, and how you are also inspiring. You're an author, you have an NGO, you do lots of impact projects. This glory that we see, you are Odogu's wife, because I know if I don't mention it, she's going to drag me.
Yes,
and
yes.
she's Odogu herself.
Yes, yes,
having all of this amazing credential. We want to also start from the beginning. Who is Miracle? What's your background like? And how did your background lead to who you are now?
That's a very good question. So when people try to define me, I don't know where to start. But I like to tell my story. That's the only thing I have. So I've always been an A student, right?
Great.
So always done well in class
Jackie.
and all of those stuff. And I was one of those people they forced into the medical line, right?
Okay.
But one thing that stands out from my childhood, and I think one thing that propelled me to where I am right now, is I always knew that there could be more. I was born in the slums of Lagos, and I said to myself as a very young age that I did not want to stay here. I don't want to live here. I want to, I want to transcend beyond this and be in the heart of town. I think that was one of my greatest driving forces, to live and be in the heart of town and be an example to my siblings.
Yeah.
That was my first point of call, because I was the first of 6, and I understood the powerful role I played in inspiring them. So I think that put a lot of good pressure, I would say, in me to always be more and do more. So at a very young age, I was always seeking, how can I do better? What can I do to help propel me to the next phase? And I think that has been my journey over the years, the journey to, do better, propel, get into the next stage, and just keep growing from there.
Amazing. So what was the point where you knew that, okay, I need to go into marketing? Because I mean, for you just mentioned that you're one of the people that are pushing into medicine. You could actually have been a medical doctor, and I know that you're a science student.
Yes, I read.
So how did you transition from somebody in the science field to becoming a marketing manager?
Okay, I would be honest, I wouldn't say I was passionate about marketing.
Of course, you were passionate about money. I always like to say it, because I feel like
I mean, Dangote is not passionate about making cement.
Yes.
Let's be honest. But I think for me, I always wanted to do accounting. That was what I wanted to do when I was young. I wanted to be a commercial student. But it pushed me, and I ended up doing, JAM happened, I did microbiology. So for my 300 level doing microbiology, this IT period, and I went around looking for jobs from place to place during my internship period, and I was being rejected. In fact, I had to pay NAFDAC to intern at NAFDAC.
Wow.
I wasn't paid. I had to pay them to intern there. So from that point, I already knew that there was no opportunity, like there are no jobs. I said to myself that I would not join the bandwagon of unemployed Nigerian youth. I have to take my future in my hands right now. And thankfully, we were in a lot of Facebook groups and all. So I started seeing, I started doing my research on the future of work, what jobs. I think I didn't know the term of the future of work, but for me, I was trying to Google like what jobs will matter in the next 5 years.
Wow.
What can I do? And that was when I saw digital marketing. Funny how I can't tell this story without Elijah Author. So yes. So I think it was Elijah Author that said to me, I saw digital marketing and I picked interest, and I messaged him, and we connected from there, and he sent me course links and all. And that was how, the journey began. Got an internship placement, and the rest they say is history.
Amazing, amazing.
Yeah.
So for young people, or generally for people who either want to transition or want to start a career in digital marketing or in marketing generally, how can they start?
Okay, so first off, I would say have a drive to learn, like to want to know.
Yes.
Let your initial first, whether it's marketing or any career, do not make the first point of call just to make money. So how can I learn? First thing I always tell people is that these days the internet has made everything easy. You don't need to go to the four walls of any university to learn. While that is good, but the internet is also there. So look at online courses within marketing. There's Google Digital Skills, there's HubSpot. There are a lot of places where you can pick up, there's Coursera, where you can pick up like online courses.
Yes.
When you're done with that, seek internship placement. That's why I said that. What's it called? That's why I said your money should not be your first driving point. I also have a very good friend that's marketing, Shay, as well. And when she told her story, she would also say that she started off during internships. So when you look for like internship opportunities where you can learn, and from there you try your hands across different things and know how to grow from there. Now people might say, oh, I've been trying to get internship opportunities and it's not working. The beauty about marketing is highly practical. Look for that your friend that has a business. Look for that your friend that has this, and try to apply what you've learned in those kind of businesses. It could be like a free job, but it's your testing ground to becoming better. I think if you like do all of these things, you'll be on your way to building a marketing career.
Amazing. I like that you also mentioned that, it's not just about learning. A lot of people think that, for you to stand out in the industry, you just need certificates. While certificates is great, you also need to look for a place where you can put that experience to good use and build your experience bank and all of that. Amazing. So let's move over to business owners, because we would like to draw from your wealth of knowledge as a marketing manager. I know that marketing is one of the lifeblood of the business, because if you're not doing proper marketing, how are people going to see you and how are they going to patronize you? So for brands or businesses, how can they utilize digital marketing or marketing, especially the online tool and all of that?
Okay, so first thing I usually tell business owners is let your products be very good. What do I mean? You sell bags, you sell this, be very, very big on quality. Because one thing quality does for you is that it helps to create apostles for your brand. So I wouldn't even work on any brand that I don't believe in the product. That's me. So that's why I usually say the first baseline when it comes to marketing is having a good product. Now you've had your own good product. The next thing you have to ask yourself is, what makes yourself different from 1,001 people that does exactly the same thing? So you might be saying, oh, I'm just a shoe vendor on Instagram. Oh, I'm just a clothes vendor on Instagram. I just do that. But the question is, what is your unique selling point? If you've not identified that's one major problem. So I like to tell people, a way to identify your unique selling point is through your story, for example. What led you to starting this brand? What are you trying to achieve? What are you trying to make the people on the other end feel when they... So for example, you're selling shoes. Are you selling shoes or are you selling elegance? So are you trying to take people closer into their journey of becoming an elegant woman? Something along those lines. So crafting your unique selling point is very, very important. Having done that, you now ask yourself, what channels can my target audience be found? How do I mean? So for example, the strategy used in marketing, someone that sells clothes and bags is different from someone that does like HR consulting or something like that, or someone that just sells technology products. So you need to ask yourself, look at the whole marketing, the whole like channels. Where most can my target audience be found? And how do I coin my messages in those platforms to speak directly to my target audience?
Yes.
And also, you also need to pay attention to your content. That's like the basic, what kind of content you drive around it and all. And I always tell people the best form of marketing is to be your brand. Carry on, hawk it on top of your head. Let everybody that comes to you know that, oh, this is exactly what I do. It needs to be very, very clear. Then we can now talk about, the advertising channels of it, and which is like a very, very technical part that we're not talking. But very, very important, if you sell like products that are visible or even just services, having a website or a one pager that people can go and read about your business is extremely important. especially in 2023.
Yes.
So I think you should look into creating something like that as well. One tip again for people that do like B2B kind of services would be to create like a brochure, like a one pager that clearly encompasses what you do. Then you can now do LinkedIn marketing. How do I mean by LinkedIn marketing? This is just a pro tip for people that do like, B2B services. Is you have a one pager that is tailored to different industries and you connect with people on LinkedIn. It's easy to find out where someone works. You connect to people with those industries, you pitch yourself, you try to start a conversation and send your one pagers. Do at barest minimum 100 a day. At least one person will listen to you. That's the marketing is a marathon.
Yeah.
let me not start from, let's just leave it at that. I hope I've been able to capture different
Yes, amazing. It's really very instructive. So now let's come back to the personal. We've talked about your professional area, right? Marketing. Now I know that there are young persons here who are watching this, or even not even about age, right? People generally who are watching this video and they're like, oh, I know how to do many things. You're a digital marketer, for example, marketing manager, you lead a market for a huge company, you're an author, you still do impact and do all of these things. Where is the place of, I wouldn't say balance, how can people know that this is what I want to focus on? At some point you got clarity that you wanted career, so you're focusing on digital marketing. So even when other things, you're so good at many things. You're a good public speaker, but you are now focused on one aspect. How can young people will say, I don't know what to do, I'm multi-talented and all of those things. So what advice do you have for people like that on how they can get clarity and how they can move that?
I completely understand because I've been there. And I think the first thing to do is to identify your life's pillars. So I used to be, which still helps me till today, I used to be a very active volunteer. I volunteered across different places. But I think at a very early on, my mentor said to me, identify your life's pillars and try to do things around those pillars. So for example, I knew I was very, very interested in technology, right? So I said to myself, if I was going to volunteer for anything, I would volunteer alongside the technologies. If I'm going to speak on anything, I'm going to speak on things around technology,
so
or how you can build digital literacy. Because what that would do to you is to keep your eyes single. The Bible says when your eyes is single, there's light, or something along those lines.
Yes,
it will keep your eyes very single, and I can grow and build track record from there. As against today, I'm doing health. Tomorrow I'm doing. So the question is not, are you doing different things? The question is, what's the thin line that is connecting everything you do, so that people can see, they would know you for this thing. So I think it's okay if you're young to explore different facets. So try health, try this, try that, try that. But when you find out your life's pillars, you would see that you can actually do everything. So for example, if I'm organizing a digital literacy program, I know I'm speaking on digital skills, which is in line with what I'm doing, technology, right? If I'm going to write a book tomorrow, I'm going to write something around that, just so that
everything is aligned.
Exactly, and I'm even getting better at my craft. As against them everywhere, and I'm
talking
not
about
getting
everything
depth.
and doing everything.
Do you understand? I'm very, very particular about that. So I think find your life's pillars. If it's technology, if it's faith, if it's
lifestyle,
whatever. If it's whatever, then every other thing will now align around it.
Wow. And then this is coming personal again, because I know that we always have conversations, and one thing that you're always talking about is depth.
Yes, so
whether in the career says you're like, this person has to build depth. You're against, not really against, but you're very skeptical about people who are prematurely exposed. Who come out to start. Actually, we see that almost everywhere on Instagram. People who take 2 courses online and then they're already experts. What advice do you have, or what strategies on how to build that?
Yes, so just like she rightly said, I don't know if the word is against, but it's easy for me to identify people that are shallow. And I think people around my circle as well, we can easily identify people that are shallow. And you don't want to come off as shallow. One thing that if you want to build depth, I would say, okay with delayed gratification. You don't have to be the person in the front runner. I know we are young, we want to be exposed, we want to
executive director, founder, CEO.
Bro, people use 20 years to get that title. I'm not saying you have to use 20 years.
Of course.
People use 30 years to be a CEO. And when they come out to speak, the conversation is different. What I say to people is, whilst all those titles are great, you've taken 2 courses, you're not a marketing expert, right? You're a marketing executive or an enthusiast or whatever. This thing is also dicey because packaging can also help you.
Yes, it's kind of dicey.
So what I would advise you is to first seek for knowledge in that thing that you want to be an expert in. And don't be afraid to show your growth journey.
Yes.
So don't be too in a hurry to say, oh, I'm a founder, I'm a CEO. Oh, I just completed 2 courses in marketing and I'm pursuing my I'm pursuing a career in becoming a marketing manager. Here is how I've been able to help brands do this. And you are just going from place to place to place. And I'm telling you, you don't even need to put yourself in that position. In 2-3 years, people will come to you and they'll be like, oh, what can I do like this for my business? What can I do that for my business? At that point, when you're speaking, you are speaking from a place of
knowledge, clarity, and experience.
And a final thing I'll say on this is, don't tell people to do something that you have not done. Thank you and God bless you. Let all of us be guided. I think I'm going to end there.
Amazing.
Because this matter is very deep.
I know it is very deep to you, you know, thank you so much for that. So now let's come. You're an author, right? And you wrote a book on Dare, which is a professional guide to living out seemingly impossible dreams.
Yes, correct.
And all. Growing up and doing all of these things that you do, I know that there are challenges, possibly doubts, pressures. I know it's not just a one-way street. Even getting to this position you are right now. What strategies do you deploy personally to live above the water, even when doubt comes, even when pressure comes? How do you push against all odds?
I mean, the challenges are evident. In fact, up to now, my parents still don't get what I do. They think before I transition to working from the office, they always see you on your computer and they still don't understand it. So you have to, but when the money comes, the money is there, the money doesn't lie, right? So I would say one thing that kept me going is my quest to make money. I'm not even going to lie. I always want to have my own, right? So that's one. Then secondly, the question is, what am I building, right? What am I building? That thing always keeps me going. Like, who do I want to be tomorrow? Who do I want to be next tomorrow? Who do I want my kids to wake up and see? So that is also another thing that keeps me going. Then I would say how to live above the waters. I look at myself in the mirror a lot of time. I enter rooms that I'm not supposed. I've been in rooms where I'm the youngest. I've been in rooms where I'm the only female. I've been in rooms with people from different continents. And I always look myself in the mirror and say I'm that price. That for the fact that I have access to that room, it means that I'm deserving of a spot there. So most times in those kind of situations, I listen more than I speak. I'm a very opinionated person, so it's easy for me to always want to speak.
Yes.
But when I discover that I'm in certain rooms, I listen before I speak. And when the Bible even says that it's better that you are, for a foolish man to keep quiet and everybody will think he's wise, than for you to not be foolish.
And everybody
wise
know
not
that,
open your mouth.
and everybody knows that this person is not even as wise as
exactly. So I like to listen and pay attention to my environment a lot. Study things before I now speak. But I always say to myself, I am the prize. If I have an opportunity to be here, it means I deserve to be here. So things around that, and again, my friends, my family, my husband, people around me, having a support circle is important. That can gauge your growth and say, oh, well done, you're doing this here, well done, you're doing that here. I think that's very, very important.
Amazing. You mentioned access to rooms. I just also want to know, how can people get this access? Is there a code, that you can just choose? Relationships.
Build and nurture relationships. Relationships will take you to places where qualifications, certificates will not take you. Like, I've had job opportunities just because I know somebody. I'm going to talk about this thing on a later note, but one of the jobs I've had, I've only had to do one very chill interview. One of the very big fintech companies. Just a chill vibe interview because of relationships. So I always tell people, whenever I go to a place, I'm always very intentional about building relationships. Because relationships will take you to places your qualifications will.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So back to your question, to what you just said now, because this is like a follow-up to what you've shared so far. Now, how can people begin to access and build this relationship? Because it's one thing to access this relationship, it's another thing to actually be able to build this relationship to the point where they are able to stake their reputation to refer you. Because the person who referred you to that job, if the person didn't know you were capable, the person probably wouldn't have been able to do that. So how can people start to access and nurture valid and valuable relationships?
I'll say first, don't be a leech.
Hmm.
Don't go to people with what you can give, what you can collect. Sorry.
Mhm.
So, hi, please mentor me now.
Hmm.
I need this.
Hmm.
Hi, please, no. Be a person of value.
Hmm.
I always go to people with the question of what can I help?
Hmm.
So, first of all, don't be a leech. Look for areas to help you. There are a lot of social media has collapsed a lot of walls.
Hmm.
There are a lot of people out there that you can, reach out to help.
Mhm.
And I think importantly, be a good person.
Hmm.
A lot of us have closed doors because we've met terrible people. We've helped people that have stabbed us. So be a good person. Just be good.
Good.
First of all, seek to help and be a good person, because if you're good, it's easy for you to be my friend. And I can testify about you that, you have access to me. I'll say, Victoria, I know how many people have recommended to Victoria. I know how many people Victoria has recommended to me. It's because they were good people. This world is just like a global village. It's very small.
Very small.
Yeah, so that's just pretty much what I would say.
Just be good. So don't be a leech and
Be a good
actually
person.
be a good person.
And don't be afraid to go out and ask for just like go and tell them, say, I need you. In this day and age, don't be shy. If you want someone to be in your circle, go out.
Okay, so the next question I want to ask you. Who knew Odogu? Are you Odogu's wife? Young, you got married at young age, in the prime of the great activities that you're doing. I think at that point you even got a leadership role at the office. And also I want you to talk to people about, some people think that while chasing one, it could be at the expense of the other. I'm talking about marriage and career, or even it could even be in terms of two different goals, right? How can people know that they can have it, find a balance to this particular goal? In your case, marriage and career and impact. How do you tie all of these things together to still lead a successful life?
Oh, nice. So I think that people have a very weird definition of marriage. Because when I sit down and ask people what they actually think marriage is, they really don't get it. If you're able to have a roommate and collaborate with a roommate and it's not stopping something you're doing, then think of that roommate as someone that genuinely loves you, someone that puts you first, someone that will do everything to make sure you're fine. Then think of what you would do in that situation. Even the scripture says, one will chase 1,000 and two will 10,000. So I always say that it's not a hard thing to do. The first question would be, what do I want to achieve career-wise? Okay, what am I? What's a success to me when it comes to career? Having identified that, the next question to now ask yourself is, the partner that I'm getting involved with or whatever, does the person also think that is what success means?
Wow,
right?
this is
Exactly,
really very
because
deep.
Yes, some people would want to say, for example, success to them means being an influencer, being out there, and you're married to someone that thinks social media is a sin.
So there's a lot of disunity already.
Exactly. However, if the person ties in that vision and says, success like that would mean that this is what success means to me, and the both of us, our life's goal is to ensure that I take you to that point of success and you take me to that point of success, then I think that's going to be like a game changer. I started my YouTube career with everything I'm doing married, and it was my husband that bought the tripod and everything and said, you must start this thing.
Because you told him that's what you want.
Do you understand?
And he's not even, the thing is, he's not even a social media person. He's not out there, but he knows that this is what my wife finds fulfillment in, and he's trying to support it.
Yes, and I think that I'm very, very grateful for this new generation of Nigerian men. Some that don't believe that the primary role of a woman is to proclaim them, all those things are like no. So I would say just be very intentional. It could sound very cliche, but it will help you across board. The same way someone will tell you be intentional about who you share your vision with, or people that you have in your circle, or people that you don't like, the power of friendship, the power of network. The same way you're intentional about that, the same way you should be intentional about someone that you will do life.
I mean, that's even a very, very, very important.
You have to be extremely intentional. I feel like if you're intentional, one will chase 1,000 and 10,000. I mean, Victoria's already doing it.
Yes,
Yeah.
amazing,
Yeah.
amazing. So what you're saying is, as regards even general life goals now, for the fact that you can do multiple things
No, you
at the
can't.
same time
Yes.
and still get value and
Yes.
still tie it all up together to lead that successful life. You don't say, I feel like there's one slang that says you can have it all, right? And then there's another argument that says
I believe
you
that there's
can-
no this or that. There's this and that. That's how I
yes,
live my life.
yes, but then certain things take priority at different seasons of your life.
Exactly.
So another question I want to ask you, so now how do you balance it?
Exactly. So this is a very, very interesting question, because some things I've had to take the back burner for a very long period of time, and that's okay. It's just
okay.
like the same way we grow, and what used to interest us when we were in uni is not the same way. Same thing that interests us now.
Growth.
So it's just that some opinion that you have before is not the same opinion that you have now. So it's okay to grow. It's okay for your interests to change, right? So I would say that the place of balance is understanding priorities. What is important to you at this time? So I always say to people that it cannot always be 50-50. Like you cannot have 50% attention here, 50% attention. I mean, it's human body. It's not a machine that you can give equal efforts, right? So it's understanding, okay, one needs to take priority at this time.
At this time.
One needs to take priority at this time. And it's in life generally. For example, when you were in uni, there are things you couldn't do because the uni was taking your priority at the time.
Yes, so you had to focus on that.
Exactly. You left uni and you had time to write a book. You had time to
post. So I wrote a book in my final year.
Just like, for example, like you started doing like the Heroes Network Awards
afterwards, yes,
and a lot of things. So it's understanding, what is my, and it's okay to change priorities, guys.
Yes, it is. It is amazing. I've had such an exciting conversation with you, but I still want to ask a question, because you're a very ambitious person. I know you're very ambitious. You set goals, but where's that place of how can people set goals, but beyond setting goals, how can they now achieve the goals that they have set?
Okay, so first, when it comes to goal setting, again, I told you it's okay to go and change my opinions. I currently, where I'm sitting now, believe that my mind and my eyes don't have the capacity to see what God has planned for me. That if I'm gonna say this is what I want to do and what I want, it's me limiting God. That's how I feel, because I know that the future is beyond, like, there's so much that is going to happen with and through me. I'm saying this and you guys are gonna see it happen, right? But that being said, there are pointers to what success could look like. Right? So for example, you say to yourself, at this point, I want to have a thriving career in the next 5 years. Say maybe a career in customer success or a career in tech. Then the question you will now ask yourself, now bear in mind, you're not telling yourself that if I don't do this, this is the only way that it can happen.
Yeah, exactly. They're different.
Again, I'm saying it, the human mind, you will not work, especially if you're a spiritual person like me. You cannot limit God. If they had told me at this point I'll be married,
I guess so. That's another thing, but that's a conversation for another day. But
so you have to leave space for God to do His thing, right? But whilst we're still humans, we'll still work towards some certain goals, right? So you ask yourself, okay, I want to be a software developer, right? What is it going to take me to become a software developer? What courses do I need to take? What network do I need to join? And again, I always tell people, don't be looking at the big goal. The software developer is software developer. The small thing as to turning on my laptop is as important as being a software developer. So pay attention to the little milestones that you need to conquer, because those things are what matters at the end of the day. That's what it's going to lead to the people. So I always tell people, if you don't break things down into actionable steps, it will just be wishes. And if wishes were us, all of us would be Dangote and else.
Amazing. This is, this has been very insightful. Do you have final words for viewers out there?
I mean, I would say to you that do not limit yourself. It's okay to people have a different course to failure. I always believe that whenever you wake up is your morning. So whether you're 30, whether you're 19, whether you're 25, whatever age that you are, as long as you come up and say, this is what I want to do, it's your morning. So yes, welcome to the brighter side of your life. Take the driver's seat of your life. And I can't wait to read, cheer, and be your hype leader. And I'll be like,
yay.
and all of those.
Thank Thank you so much, Miracle, for saying yes and being part of this amazing episodes on Voices with Victoria. Thank you so much for watching. As you know, do well to like, share, comment, and follow Miracle Ezechi on all her social media handles to learn more about marketing, goal setting, and basically everything generally to live an inspiring and successful life. Until next time, do well to have a beautiful time. Bye for now.
Bye.
Thanks for watching Voices with Victoria. Please like, leave a comment, subscribe, and share. Cheers!